Running IT as a Business, Part 2. Building on our CIO Success Series, the next several videos from our Information Technology Practice area will focus on running IT as a business. Today we will discuss, is IT a service or a business in its own right? Relationships are your key to success. Actually, you are a strategic advisor. Allow us to introduce Gary Albitz, previously a consultant director and senior director in IT at companies Hyperion, Oracle, and McAfee Intel Security. He also spent several years as a consultant and management consultant at Ernst & Young on CRM, business processes, analytics, and cybersecurity. Gary runs Focal Point Business Coaching of Hawaii, but still has his roots firmly planted in Silicon Valley.
Is IT a service or a business? IT has to decide. It cannot be both. IT has been run as a cost center for a long time, and if you want to move into something else to become a service, I mean, they think about platform as a service, software as a service, infrastructure as a service. You have to put together real business objectives and goals, maybe even a business plan, real strategies, and make business decisions. You can't just go get the latest technology and apply it. So moving from a cost center to a service, to the business, you have to think about your mission, vision, purpose. What is IT supposed to be doing for the company? Does IT have a budget, and should it try to do something to make a profit? Should it do something to charge back to the customers, the internal customers? What do you offer? Now, in addition, you really got to do, if you're going to run a business, you've got to target a market. What is your core competencies? Where should you apply your value, and where should you maybe outsource something else? Or is it marketing and sales, customer service? Do you have development tools to help out R&D? Does IT have its own set of intellectual property, and can IT actually deliver a competitive advantage to the company? It's possible. Many companies have done that. Cisco is one, HP is another. Several others are advertised as that their IT and their CIOs spend a lot of time talking about the competitive advantage that they've brought to the company. Now, second of all, employees, they have to think IT is a career. What are their core competencies, and how can you build? Now, we also have to think about here is, what's your business value? Not just your technical value, but what business value? This is where you find that a lot of people in IT around the world did not go to school for computer science. I've run into archaeologists, sociologists, English majors, and dozens of other majors who work in IT who are just as successful as any technology geek, but more because that they have the business sense, not that they have all the technical answers. Key to the success of any IT executive is building relationships with their customers. For example, the VPs of marketing, sales, HR, finance, research and development, and other departments in the company. Also with external vendors or partners, with executives, and sometimes even with customers of the company. Key to building successful relationships is credibility and delivering value. Growing a relationship in this context means to listen to, for example, an internal customer's requests and requirements, and then assisting them in refining those down to actionable steps and realistic goals. A sales executive who wants to track the progress of the conversion of leads to customers through the sales funnel is going to ask for something radically different from the executive who wants to increase revenue by 24%. For example. Both may actually end up using the exact same tool deployed by IT, but both will have very different expectations and evaluation criteria. The CIO has to build enough credibility with each of these requesters to determine their true underlying needs, and may need to perform some influencing to show these requesters the value that can be obtained. A tool cannot guarantee an increase in revenue, much less profit, and the CIO may need to dig deeper to discover the value of tracking lead conversions at some detail. The request may have some foundation, but you really need to find out what the business reason for tracking conversions. It's a good number to have, but what is the end customer actually going to do with it, and how is it actionable? The requester may actually find value in that certain marketing campaigns are creating lead conversion rates that are an increase over the last campaign, or a decrease. Knowing that there was an increase in conversion rates of leads to prospects or customers with a specific campaign is actually actionable, because you know the trend towards the right type of campaign. That would be useful for both the marketing and the sales teams. As a strategic advisor, the CIO has to know current, near-term, and future technologies and processes, build relationships through trust and credibility, and be able to convey business value in terms that the CXOs will understand. Not that they're not smart or not capable, but frequently the conversion of how a tool works to how an executive wants to use it needs a lot of explanation. If the business wants app A and IT knows that app B will be better when it matures, it's currently not right there yet, but it's going to mature over the next 6 months to a year, then what should the CIO do? What are the impacts? What are the risks? What are the challenges do you go with app A for a few years and wait for B? What is the cost benefit? If neither A or B are perfect for the requirements, does the CIO recommend build versus buy? If the application being requested or an alternative are not in the CIO's or IT's or the company's core competencies, should then a partner be used? Does the CIO want to risk being an early adopter and all the challenges that come with that? Maybe, maybe not. There's also a lot of rewards with becoming an early adopter, and you certainly get to be first in line in making requests and improvements. So there's actually an investment of time and energy, maybe even money, but you certainly will get a better product out of the end. It certainly will be placing the CIO's reputation and credibility on the line, whatever he or she recommends. If a vendor's product is not perfect but close, can the CIO influence that vendor's product suites that are close enough to be altered or modified to include features that his business needs? The CIO will certainly request what features might be on their roadmap. In terms of business processes, methodology, and development, what is better than Agile? Well, actually, there's several things that are better than Agile, and Agile has a certain place in the whole process. But do we know, is there another methodology coming down the pike that might displace Agile? Is there something else that's going to come along that will displace Lean? Just remember, several years ago, Agile and Lean were not actually processes and were somebody's good idea. They replaced something else. We do know currently that in major Silicon Valley corporations, many of them are abandoning Agile as a development process. And they're at least moving it to the place of the last mile of a project.
Thank you, Gary. That was a great introduction to some of the major considerations in moving from merely being a cost center or a service, however valuable, to a business in your own rights. Register for our upcoming webinar about running IT as a business. You will find full information on our website. Please join us for the next chapter in our continuing CIO Success Series.